All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday night. I hope. Welcome back to this episode of Sergio Block Marathon Madness. Um, we're gonna begin. Let me fix some things. Is that better? Can you even? What if I get closer? I don't know if you can see this or not. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this awesome. Can you see the orange and yellow? Not yellow, blue. Well, today is October 3rd, which is today Taylor Swift released her new album. I don't know if you know this or not, but the album is called Life of a Showgirl because Taylor Swift is that girl and she is a showgirl. And so, in honor of her, I did my whiteboard and the colors of the album, which are orange and teal. So that's the marker I used. I don't know if it shows up or not. Let me edit the settings more. Once more. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Alright. But listened to the album this morning and I loved it. I am a big Swiftie personally. Um, you know, me personally, I worked with her on some songs back in many years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Um, personally. And my character Hunter is a Swiftie as well. So me and Hunter love the album. We're big Swifties, and I don't know about you if you're a Swiftie, but happy that it's a life of a showgirl day. So let's get started with our marathon madness. Wait. So today we're going to talk about season 1, episode 29, which is called Staying Positive. It's kind of hard. And then we're going to fast forward a little bit to season 1, episode 53, First Savage Field Trip, J.A. So let's go. So let's go back to Central season 1, episode 29, Staying Positive. It's kind of hard. Let's see if I even move it. Like, I can't believe you can't see the orange. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, maybe on the actual video it will be. But anyway, let's begin. So this is a normal day. Um, so he goes to breakfast club, he eats breakfast. Um, he is just being a savage, he's chilling. like a villain. He's talking to Erica and his Savage Club members. It's not quite the Brotherhood 2.0 yet, I don't think. It might be. But they're hanging out, they're just having fun, they're chit chatting, all this. And then the bell rings, the bell rings, and, and then they go to language arts with Miss Hendricks, and it's a bell work and a lesson, and then they have a weekly quiz, like a vocab quiz or a book quiz or something, I don't remember, but you'll see it on the clips. And then he goes to reading with Miss Warnock, and then second period they're doing a lesson, they're doing an activity, and then they're doing a test or something over vocab and over what they've been doing. And then he goes to pre-algebra, he gets kind of stressed, they do the bell work, and then they have a test. And it's kind of stressing Hunter out, it's giving him anxiety, but he goes to Miss Warnock's room. She tries to help him out as much as possible. You know how teachers are when they do this, like during test. But he's still stressed out, but he gets the test done. He gets through it, and but staying positive is kind of hard. But he had a positive attitude with Miss Warnock, and he got it done. And now he gets to go to the Brotherhood lunch meeting. It's Pizza Friday. I mean, I don't know what it is, but you'll find out. But he gets his lunch. He eats his lunch. You know, he's with the Brotherhood. They're playing games. They're chatting. They're having fun. And then he goes to study hall, like always. And then science with Miss Fairchild, which is a bell work and a lesson, and then an assignment. And then choir with Mr. Neville, they're practicing. They're really practicing. And then they go to kinetic civics. We're back to doing that. The last couple episodes we were talking about season 3, 4, and all of that, which it was geography. But now it's kinetic civics with Mr. Wild Village. They're doing a lesson and then the assignment. And then he goes to resource, and Erica's not there today, but it's okay since he has no math assignment. But he just works on other work, he prepares for the next week, he's just chilling and vibing. And that is it for this. And now we're gonna fast forward a little bit to a fun episode. This is Fun Friday, whatever you want to call it. Season 1, episode 53, First Savage Field Trip, JA. So here we are. So this is the first field trip of 8th grade. And there's a couple field trips in 8th grade, which is so Hunter is always excited for field trip day because that means that there's no homework, there's no tests. And it's really good when it's a Friday because all you have to do is go to a field trip and then it's the weekend with no work and no tests, no quiz, especially no tests, which is nice. So, so this is the first field trip, and he's excited. And anytime there's a field trip in middle school because sixth when he was in 6th grade, 7th grade, they only took like 1 or 2 field trips. But now in 8th grade, they have a couple field trips, which he's excited about. 5th grade was a little bit different, but in 8th grade, they take some trips, and this is the first one. And they're going to this place called JA, which is kind of like businesses and entrepreneurship and life skills, basically. So it's basically like a training center where you're preparing to be an adult, which is very important. And they teach about the economy and taxes, all of that. And they've been preparing for the field trip because they have to prepare before they do it because they have different activities they do. And they have to prepare and know skills ahead of time to do the activity. But anyway, which they do it during study hall, which we do not see. But here we go. So first things first, they go to breakfast club. He eats breakfast. They hang out with Erica, and all of the members do all that, and then the bell rings. And when the bell rings, they have to go to study hall, which the study hall teacher is Wild Language. That's Hunter's homeroom teacher, study room teacher, the same thing. advisory teacher. That's what they call it, Mr. Woodward. So it's all the chaotic and it's wild. And he's the supervisor for Hunter's group and Hunter's advisory stay hall classmates. So that's fun. That's the same thing as all the field trips in eighth grade, let me tell you. And of course, all the teachers and all Hunter's friends in the Brotherhood will be at this field trip as well. So, even though it's a fun Friday, and they're saying, hey, it's Friday, but eventually there is going to be some Brotherhood drama, let me tell you. So, they get ready, they in the stay hall room, they prepare for the trip. They're all excited, Hunter's really excited. Um, they're just preparing to when to get on the buses. So we fast forward a little bit. Hunter gets on the bus with his people. Um, and so the Brotherhood members on there, so they get seated, they laugh, they chat a little bit. We don't see the whole bus ride there, but it's an hour bus ride to a city, which is nice. Um, so, but we see parts of the bus ride. So they just get seated down, and then we fast forward a little bit, and they're filming Hunter on his phone, which is nice. Field trips are nice too, especially he listens to music. He listens to Taylor Swift. I bet I would be listening to Taylor Swift, the Life of a Showgirl, or at the time her album Lover was in 2009. This was in eighth grade, so I bet he was listening to Lover. I think I was. He was playing some mobile games on his phone, watching TikTok, which I would still do on a bus ride, an hour bus ride. So in between, every so often, we would film this, and he was chatting with some neighbors behind him, some board members, and he was sitting on the foot of the bus. So, but he was just vibing, whining and vibing on the bus as a passenger. I am a passenger princess, by the way. But anyway, passenger prince. That makes more sense. So, um, so, um, but that happens every so often. But they finally make it to the city. They finally make it to JA, the destination. They walk in. Some students help bring in the sack lunches from the bus in, which is nice with the teachers. They all go in and they walk in, and Hunter's a nice facility, which you'll see in Hunter's in action. But Hunter's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so amazing. We're going to have a fun time. So the first time they check in to the building, you know, and then the tour guide and whatnot, the staff member of this facility, which Hunter's like, ooh, I can't wait, and members, but they walk over to this this seating area, and they do a presentation of what JA is all about and what activities and what things are gonna look like and what things they're gonna do and what activities they're gonna complete. And they just do an introduction. They do some basic skills. So if you didn't do the JA work at Stay Hall, you would know what to do still. But anyway, it's nice to have that. And then they get started. They go to their first room and it's their first station. And I think it's like taxes and financial skills, which is very important. Um, that's the first one in there. And he's with a group with a couple students, and one of them are the barhead member, John. So John is in there, and he had crutches. Oh my gosh! But anyway, but that was the only member that he was there the whole time. But when the presentation was like members, um, like Hayden and Kaysen and Jared and Cameron and other people, were in the like bleachers of this presentation room during the present. They're chit chatting, and Jared is sitting close to Hunter, and he's trying to talk to Jared a little bit. This before the presentation started, when everyone was trying to sit down, but Jared was ignoring Hunter. When even if I guess I would get it if they were talking to the people, But at the time, people were sitting down and they were just chit-chatting, but Jared didn't want to speak, which will come up as drama theater. So he talks to other people, like his friend Aiden, his friend Wyndham at the time. They talked to um, other people and are also around him. So, but he's in a group, a separate group. They divided. So it's with 4 or 5 people, and one of them is John, the board member. Um, and they're with Miss Fairchild, the science teacher, and that's their person. So the first station, they get iPads and they're doing have to do financial skills, which math is of course hard for him, so he's kind of stressing. But he just pretends to do it, which is savage. Or he tries to do it the best he can, but he gets through it, and he knows that, okay, if I don't get it right, the station right, if I get it wrong, I get this activity wrong, I'm not a failure, and this is not for a grade, and he's thinking, thank God it's not for a grade. It's just for the activities, it's just for the field trip, and he still has a great time. And then they go to other stations, which is other businesses, and they just talk about business skills, financial skills, math skills, and how to run a business, how to be an entrepreneur. There's like a Pizza Hut station, a news station, I believe, like how to run. It's not more so. It's also running businesses and and skills for that and financial. Each one, like how to run a pizza place, or how to run a TV station. But they talk about the skills if you want a job like that. What you need. So there's a restaurant, there's a TV station, a fake TV station. There's like a shop, like a gift shop, fake gift shop, a small business type thing, station, how to run a small business, you know. Um, and they take a break in the middle of it, and for lunch, so they have sack lunches, which is Uncrustables, which are yummy. Um, a fan favorite. Um, this was not Friday, by the way. I messed that up. The other one will be on Friday, but this was like on a Monday or something, which is nice too. But anyway, I messed up. I think that today is Friday night. But anyway, I just realized. But anyway, but it's been like 6 years, so I forget some details. So hang in with me. But um, that lunch break, just like a normal job again. But at lunch break, they're eating their stuff, they're chit-chatting, hundred watching YouTube and listening to music and watching chit-chat. But Brotherhood members are sitting with them, Adam, John. Of course, John, we want to stay in our group. Caden, Kason, Nick, Camden. We're all kind of sitting close together. Um, Jerry, Cameron, and I say Adam, Dustin, um, and some other friends of ours, Brendan and Jared. Did I say Jared? So he's chit-chatting with, Adam and John and other people during lunch as well, and they're chatting back. But Jared, he tries once again, just like earlier, to talk to Jared, but Jared is kind of upsetting Hunter, but he moves on, finishes his lunch, and moves to the next station. When the stations start up again, once everyone's finished eating and going to the bathroom, which Hunter does in the lunch break, and which we don't see clearly. That'd be weird. But very weird. Um, and they also get drink of water, you know, food or trash, that kind of thing. But after everything's done, they go to the next station and they do something which you'll see. Then they go to 2 more stations, which you'll see. And then after the last 2 stations, they leave because they had to pack up. They had to get back to school before the bell rings so they can get on the buses and go home for the night. But after the 2 stations, they would turn their iPads that they had, which were so fun. Um, they get on the bus to have a 1 hour bus ride back to the school, to the middle school. So that's what they do. And in between ones, how we got there and how we got back, just like we did. We see Hunter get on the bus, find his seat. He does his little thing, and then every so often on the ride home, the 1 hour ride home, we see TikTok, we see games, we see chit chat. But on the one home is pretty much chill. So, um, when they get back to school, we see him. We don't see him going into the school. Yeah, we do. We see all of it. We filmed me getting off the buses and going into this building, and we're in seven period. So, which we have to go to, which is resource. But Hunter had to get his stuff out of Mr. Grimish's room first. So he does that real quickly, and then he goes to the resource, and there's just a chill period. And actually, and Jared's of course in there, and Cameron's of course in there. But he goes outside, um, and Erica's there, and they go outside. And Erica and Hunter talk about the fun field trip. It was a great time, by the way. It was so fun. It was a nice break from everything. But personally, and for my character, it was a nice break. Um, but Erica and I talk about the trip, and um, and they go into the Gaga pit, which is kind of crazy. So he gets out. So he goes to the table. He finds Jared, and he talks to Jared. Tries to talk to Jared. Um, And this is where the drama comes in. There was drama, a little bit of drama, but not too chaotic. JA, because he didn't want to make a scene at the field trip and get in trouble, because if you act out on the field, you get in trouble. But anyway, which Hunter didn't want to do at the field trip. But at the outdoor time, seventh period, Hunter talks to Jared not by himself, 1-to-1, man to man. And they're talking about, why didn't you talk to me? Why did you ignore me at JA? You know, or on the bus or anywhere today. I thought we were homies. I thought we were friends, and we were. What's going on? And Jared once again doesn't want to talk to Jared, and Hunter wants him to talk to him. He's getting frustrated, rage baiting. It's ridiculous, kind of, but it's funny for TV. I know how to make good TV. Trust me. But Jared finally talks, and he just says, "I don't want to talk to you today." I can't handle the drama of the Brotherhood and you controlling everything, wanting your way or the highway, Hunter's way or the highway. And Jared said he's just fed up. And I don't know, he said he don't know how long he wants to be. And Hunter doesn't like that, says sit down, and be quiet. Well, he was already saying that, but be quiet. I'm the Brotherhood leader. He, like, we're friends, I thought. And I try not to control you, but I want you to follow my way. And he says, I'm not doing this. And Hunter said, I'm not doing this. I, I'm the leader. You have to respect me. I'm not Hayden. I know you miss Hayden. But I'm the leader of this Brotherhood. If you want to be a part of it, I hope you want to be a part of it, and I hope you stay. But you're not going to disrespect me. And Jared's just not taking it. They yell at each other and they argue some more. It's going crazy. Erica breaks it up with Miss Warnock as well. Um, and they just walk away, wait for the bell, and the bell rings. Thank God, perfect timing. They go to the bus for the night. He gets home for the night, and he's a savage, and he slays the night away. And that is it for this episode. It's drama, and the drama from this JA episode is mentioned in the fight outside. We talked about in a previous Marathon Madness with Jared Lily Boy or whatever, or Jared dot dot dot. So that's kind of where we were with Jared dot dot dot. That's why the Jared dot 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 incident happened from this incident. So there you go. That's the full story. There's the full picture for you. And that is it for tonight's episode of Savage on Block Marathon Madness. Have a wonderful, fantastic Friday night. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you Monday night for another episode of Savage on Block Marathon Madness. See you then. May God bless and protect each and every one of you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.